Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chris on Around the ATL. This is my game four of the season that I'll be doing a game review for. It'll be Hawks versus Bulls, but only my second review of 2025. Um, Thanks for tuning in on a Sunday afternoon. Again, Hawks versus Bulls. Before I get started, don't forget you can subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube channel for previous episodes. Be sure to go and check out the Steve Holman interview that started the beginning of this particular season. It was a great interview, and be looking out for hopefully an interview very soon of Atlanta Hawks own Bob Rathbun, who broadcasts all the television games for the Atlanta Hawks for the last 30 years. Excuse me, as well. So tune in for that. Very exciting times getting those guys on the show. Again, thanks for Steve Holman of 92.9 The Game for being on the show earlier in the season. So let's just get right into it. So, game four, I think I'm correct on that. We played the Chicago Bulls, and with that particular game, it was a microcosm of the early part of the season where you had certain players that were not playing up to their hilt just yet. You still had the gelling period kind of going on to an extent, but that particular game, you kind of saw the glimpses of what could be with the team, but still not quite. Again, is one of those situations where it's two steps forward, five steps back type of a deal, and I'll get into that in a little bit. I do want to shout out the team for their win against the Lakers recently. It's not often that you blow out the Lakers as a Hawks team, as Bob Rathbun said plenty of times during the broadcast, but we did do it, and it showed the depth possibilities of this team if you play everybody. My whole thing has been let's get the depth, but then if you get it, you got to play everybody. And again, Snyder almost is forced to play people sometimes. And that's when you see these players play well because they're on the floor. When you don't play them, we don't have depth. And you're playing into what the rest of the NBA wants to happen. Play 8.5 people per game instead of 10 or 11, right? So I'm just saying this season is going to be basically based off of whether or not Snyder is actually going to play everybody, his rotations, as we're going to talk about a little bit later in this episode as well. If you saw the Raptors game, you saw rotations, and a game the Hawks were leading, you saw that. So we'll talk about that a little bit briefly during this episode. So let's get started. The Chicago Bulls beat the Atlanta Hawks 128 to 123. So let me emphasize, first of all, that was a 5-point loss. We didn't get blown out. We still had a chance to win that game despite all the things and mishaps that were happening in that particular game. Also, because I do have to mention this is yet another game that Trae Young didn't have the worst plus minus on the team. Again, when do you care about certain things? You only care about plus minus when you feel that Trae Young, we're bringing this out now, has the worst, but then you see that he doesn't have the worst, now it doesn't matter. According to actually who had the worst plus minus, okay, which was Jalen Johnson, minus 14 in that game. The game we lost by 5. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But see, that's a fact that people want you to gloss over and ignore, but I'm not going to do that because a whole bunch of people played in this game, not just one person. But that one person is the one that people hate and they want to keep saying things about, and the things are just not true. And they can't prove any of the things that they say are true, which is why I do these game reviews, because it forces you to watch everything. Okay? Now, at this point of the season, the Hawks were not rebounding the ball well, and technically they're still not to an extent. Also, this was a game that Mo Gay only played 9 minutes, and Vic didn't play at all. Again, rotations, roster spots. If you have depth and you refuse to play it, how do you expect to beat these teams? So what happened? Why did we lose? Top players for the Bulls, Ayo had 21 points. Vucevic had 17 and 17 rebounds. Josh Giddey had 18 points and 13 rebounds. The Bulls had 64 points in the paint, not good. 15 second chance points, that's bad. 22 fast break points. Now, they shot 37% from three and they hit 16 of them. We lost by 5 points in this game. Okay. For the Hawks, Zach only played 20 minutes in the game. He was 1 of 5 from the floor, had 2 points, wasn't rebounding or anything else. Jalen Johnson played 31 minutes. He was 11 of 18 from the floor, had 25 points plus 3 steals. Porzingas was 11 of 17 from the floor, hit 3 threes, had 27 points. Dyson played 33 minutes. He was 1 of 8 from the floor, had 2 points, 3 steals. He did have 7 rebounds. Trae was 7 for 22 from the floor. He was 1 of 10 from 3, not good at all. Had 17 assists, only had 1 turnover. Nobody's talking about Trae and his lack of turnovers this season for some reason. You don't even want to say, oh man, Trae has been working on that apparently, huh? Don't want to say that though. He also had 21 points. Luke had 7 points in this game. Okongwu in 29 minutes was 8 for 11, had 18 and 10. NAW played 30 minutes. He was 6 of 11, played 17 points, I should say. So both of your main bench players, 2 of them, played very well as well. We lost this game by 5. Again, Mogay only played 9 minutes. He had 4 points. What if he had played 18 minutes? You don't think he would have had 10 points? Heck, if he had had 9 points, we win. Well, we tied the game at least, right? Keaton Wallace played a little bit, didn't score. The Hawks had 68 points in the paint, 12 second chance points, 21 fast break points, shot 34% from 3, only hit 11 threes in this game. So how did the Hawks lose by 5 points? Because the Hawks lost this game by 5. We did not win this game. By the way, both teams shot 50% from the floor. Think about that. Now, as always now, I started this about a year ago. I now also add in for my review points left on the floor by shots created by Trae Young. Because for some reason, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about all of the shots that are continually missed. So one thing I wanted to do, I told everybody that coming into this season, Trae Young can no longer be number one in the league in potential assists. Now, because he's missed a few games, that was already going to be changing a little bit because he just isn't playing right now. But look, currently, Trae Young is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is seventh in potential assists this season at 14 a game. Now, a year ago, he was at 21 in first. So no matter what, that is an improvement that you have to look at. Now, again, what happens when he comes back, we'll see. But when he was playing, he was third, and mostly because players were missing shots. Kind of like this Bulls game right here, because here we go. And this time I am going to be showing some video. But in this particular game, a game that we lost by 5, the Hawks left 18 points on the board. Actually, I think it's 20, but I think I missed a shot. But 18 points were left on the board from missed shots created by Trae Young. He's a point guard who creates shots for his guys. And even when they miss, he creates another shot and passes them the ball again. And you don't think that's important, and then you chastise him for doing it. I wonder why you do that. And again, I don't know how you play basketball. I wouldn't want to play basketball with you because you would blame somebody else for missing your shot. I would pass you the ball and you would be mad at me because I passed you the ball, basically saying, well, Chris, you shouldn't have passed me the ball. You knew I wasn't going to hit that shot. See how that sounds when you say it out loud? But let me show you a few shots. I'm not going to show you all of them. First quarter of this game, there were 5 points that were left on the board. 2 by JJ, pass from Trae to JJ. He missed his jumper. But here's one For Porzingas, and I'm going to show you this one real quick. Let me move this. Now, here's the one catch to me doing this video review today. It will not be sound on the video. We're going to try something. Hopefully it works. So let's see. Here we go. First shot, Porzingas, first quarter.
Yeah, see him kind of gritting his teeth a little bit. Nice pass, Young to Porzingas. That won't go. Ellis the rebound.
Now, Trae Young created a situation where two players gravitated towards him, leaving Porzingas wide open. Vucevic didn't come up to stay with him, right? Ayo went towards Trae. Trae, behind the back, bounce pass to Porzingas. Porzingas is wide open. There's nobody guarding him, and Porzingas misses a wide open three. The Hawks left 5 points in the first quarter alone. We lost this game by 5. Second quarter, 6 more points that we left on the board. Both of them threes, both of them by Jalen Johnson. I'm going to show you one of them now.
Here's Young against Herter, his former teammate. Flips it, Johnson shoots it, and it rims out.
All Trae wants you to do is move. We have people who continually just sit and stay. It's not because Trae is making them do it. They're not moving. I continue to tell people this and show people this. But even with that being said, Trae still creates an opportunity for a player where he's wide open with a little bit of movement. And he knows where to pass it and when to pass it. You passed it, JJ missed a wide open three. Why are you blaming Trae Young? Because you got to blame Trae Young, right? For JJ missing a wide open three. Another 6 points. That's 11 points left on the floor so far, right? Third quarter, 5 more points. One was a layup by Zach that he missed. But here's another 3-point shot missed. Remember, how many times have I said 3-point shot so far? Wide open threes, right? Here's another one.
Young maneuvers, finds Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Rebound by Giddey. There's his 10th. He's got a double-double with 13 points.
Do you want me to show you that again? Because NAW was wide open. Let me show it to you again.
Young maneuvers, finds Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Rebound by Giddey.
That is the pure definition of catch and shoot. We lost this game by 5 points. That three, you see what I'm saying? Here's the last one I'm going to show you. This is in the fourth quarter. Now, mind you, here's going back to coaching again. Trae Young was taken out of the game in the fourth quarter at the 8:24 mark of the fourth quarter, and he did not return until the 4:39 mark of the fourth quarter. But here's one more pass that did not go in the basket as a result of somebody missing their shot.
Oh, they should be able to milk 2 possessions out of this to the Bulls 1. Trae underneath. Daniels. No! Oh, wow.
You cut to the basket, Trae Young will find you each and every single time, but you got to hit the shot. He was there. He was under the basket. What other excuse can you make? That was 2 points right there. So 18 points. 18 points. We hit 6 points of that. We win the game by 1 point. We win the game. If we hit all of these shots, we blow out the Chicago Bulls. But that didn't occur, did it? But blame Trae Young, right? For keep passing the ball to the players. He had 17 assists in this game, but he had 26 potential assists in this same game. So how do you blame Trae Young for that? I want someone to explain that once you watch this review. So let's get into the actual game now. Because you need to know these things. See, again, people don't want to put stuff front and center. I put stuff front and center all the time with my game review. Because you need to see these things for yourself. You just shrug it off, but I'm not going to just let you shrug it off. It matters. We lost the game. Hit your shots, we win the game. We had 2 starters combined for 4 points. 2 starters combined for 4 points. All they had to do is score 5 points apiece instead of 2, and we win the game easily, kind of easy. So if you've never watched a game review, you now know pretty much how I break stuff down. I tell you what the other team did. I tell you what the Hawks did. I show you the points that were not made because people missed shots generated from Trae Young. And now what I'm going to do is possession for possession, shot for shot, from the Bulls' point of view. How did they score? Because remember, in this game, the Bulls scored 128 points. So on the people who blame Trae Young for everything, let's see who gave up all the points. Because apparently Trae Young gave up 128 points in this game as well. He scored 21 points, had 17 assists. Doesn't matter. He gave up 128 points. We left 18 points on the board from missed shots generated from Trae. Doesn't matter. It's Trae's fault, right? So now we're going to go shot for shot for the Bulls and see how they were successful against the Atlanta Hawks. So first quarter, first shot. Their young player, Buzelis, he gets a layup on Porzingas. It's a fast break. Nobody stops the ball. Only 2 players are back. That's Trae and Porzingas. It's a layup. Now, before I get started, some of the things you're going to hear me say a lot, we don't stop the ball on fast breaks. We don't know how to stop the ball. We don't know how to stay with our man on a fast break. We don't know how to keep up with assignments. We don't do it. We don't. We simply do not do it. We don't block out. We don't know how to rotate. And we don't know how to play the pick and roll. And we don't talk on defense. The few times in the season that it's done, it's not enough because it needs to be 82 games a season, not 7.5. Pure and simple. First shot, first quarter. And let me make sure. There it is. All right, here we go. So, again, it's a layup by Buzelis on Porzingas.
The NBA leader in steals in Trae Jones with one. Buzelis dives in with the left.
He went right into Porzingas'.
Now, we can say that's a first field goal attempt and Porzingas doesn't need to get into early foul trouble or anything like that. However, but also, was that on Trae Young? No, it wasn't. All right, so second shot is a miss by Trae. This is another fast break, by the way. You have Okoro sprinting back for the Bulls. Nobody calls out assignments. Nobody says, hey, pick up Okoro. He's running free. No one does that. Okoro gets a layup. Now watch JJ on this field goal attempts. I'm going to play this twice. Watch.
Young, the in and out dribble, working on Buzelis, past Vucevic, and Vucevic deterred. Small versus big that time. Here's Okoro. Finally has his first plus points.
Again, I'm going to play this again. Watch JJ.
Young, the in and out dribble, working on Buzelis, past Vucevic, and Vucevic deterred. Small versus big that time. Here's Okoro. Finally has his first plus points.
So y'all telling me it's okay for him to just, as big as he is, just let that layup happen? Again, though, you can say it's early in the game, Chris can't get in early foul trouble, but JJ was back, though. He was back. You tell me he couldn't block that shot? Maybe not. I don't know. But did he lay that on Trae, though, in this case? Trae gave up the first 4 points of the game right off the bat. It didn't happen. Trae's going to give up some points in this game. We're going to get to him. But again, did he give up 128 points? Show me the tape that shows it. Because I'm about to show you something different. Third shot, first quarter. A third straight fast break, by the way. Giddey takes it coast to coast. Nobody stops the ball. And he lays it up. Watch this.
You got to remember, Atlanta's a long, athletic team.
Ricochet included, and Giddey is able to score against him.
Nobody stops the ball, and he laid it up on Zach. That's 3 fast breaks. Remember, they had how many points on fast breaks in this game? Let's go see real quick. They had 22 fast break points. You mean you're not sure that if we gave up a few less fast break points, we win this game? We lost this game by 5. Y'all are killing me. 4th shot, first quarter. So Dyson leaves his man. This was not a double team reasoning of leaving his man. There was no need for him to leave his man. So Giddey cuts to the basket and gets a layup. Now, both JJ and Trae are there. They allow the layup. But if Dyson just simply stays with his man, there is no cut to the basket in the first place. See, the Hawks create their mismatches on their own. There's nothing that has to be forced, and they're not. And other teams don't have to attack us. The Hawks, because we don't ever stay with our man, because whatever is happening over here matters so much for some reason. Instead of you just paying attention to your guy. Shot number 4, first quarter.
Trae Young, Jalen Johnson when he was healthy. Nice cutback. Eddie Vucevic drops it off.
Now again, JJ and Trae were right there. They were both just kind of chilling there and standing there. Both of them were standing there. But if Dyson doesn't leave his man, there's no reason for Giddey to cut. They have to figure out something else. You see what I'm saying? They have to use a little bit more shot clock, right? 5th shot, first quarter. This is one-on-one. I'm going to show you this one. Let's see. This is Kevin Huerter, one-on-one with somebody. 5th shot, first quarter.
Shea has gotten a little bit better as well.
Nice job by Huerter against Reza Shea. He forced him to jump into the air on the pump fake.
Kevin showing some moves. Shimmy. The shimmy move from Jordan. Is that what that was? Hurt my knee earlier today. I can't play basketball tonight. That's why I'm doing this show right now. Trae Young didn't give up those points right there, did he? That was not Trae Young. He gave that. He got that bucket on. That was Zach. So again, that's 5 shots in the first quarter so far. Now we're going to get to Trae. Don't worry. But did he give up 128 points in this game? Is he the reason we lost this game? Or was it other people that contributed to this loss? Because everybody contributes to a win and everybody contributes to a loss. But to continue to proclaim that Trae Young is the reason you lose games, knowing what you know in regards to NBA history, is foolish. It's foolish. Shot number 6, first quarter. Kevin sets a back pick on Okongwu, and Vucevic is all of a sudden on Luke. Watch this one.
You know, it's amazing he was in New Orleans and didn't get these same opportunities. Yeah. It's like, wow.
What he could have had was potentially him and Herb Jones together. There is Vucevic with the turnaround.
Now, let me try to ask y'all a reasonable question. If you just saw what I just showed you, was Luke supposed to stop Vucevic there? That was cool for y'all to see that? Y'all had an expectation that Luke was supposed to stop Vucevic? He was supposed to block Vucevic's hook shot, basically? 7-footer? Okay, I'll let y'all have that too if you want to. 7 shot, first quarter. Giddey is driving. He backs down somebody, spins, and hits a layup. Let's see if that's Trae Young. 7 shot, first quarter.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would be proud.
Now that was Giddey backing down Okongwu all the way to the basket. Now, again, Okongwu doesn't look like Trae Young to me. I could be wrong. Where's different numbers? Trae is light-skinned, doesn't wear a headband. You want me to play it again? I'm not going to. We lost this game by 5 points, y'all. 8th shot. Now, here we go. So Trae leaves his man for some crazy reason, and Kevin hits a three. Now, I want you to note how nobody talks on defense. Also, why is Okongwu doubling Jones? I want someone to answer this question. A shot, first quarter.
You see Herter trying to get free. Young is sticking with him.
Yeah, they're switching anytime they come together.
There is Herter. Knocks it down.
Red Velvet.
So if you notice, Trae Young left his man. But also, again, why is Okongwu following Jones throughout that whole possession there instead of actually staying with his man? But you know what he was doing? He was creating another passing avenue for the other team that was not necessary. Why? Because you have something called help defense. We don't know how to play the pick and roll. But on that one, that was Trae's fault because he should have stayed with Kevin. Right? Am I wrong? Nice shot. Back to back. Trae leaves his man again. Now, everyone is looking at the ball handler, though. Mo Gay is not playing anybody. Luke isn't on anybody. Ball swings and nobody rotates. Again, though, this is on Trae because he should have stayed with Io, but nobody's talking on defense. I want y'all to look at this. Ninth shot, first quarter.
Jones, Smith. Bulls are 1 of 9 from 3.
Look how Atlanta's flying all over the place. Bang, bang, bang.
That'll help. Dosunmu hits.
See, again, if you talked on defense, you would know where everybody is. But see, because everybody's concentrating on one person, your eyes aren't where they need to be. You saw where Luke was. You saw where Mo Gay was. Trae being out of position, guess what? That's bad. That's not okay. But what also is not okay is somebody fixing it. Hey, someone get Io. You see what I'm saying? Because that now forces the Bulls to do something a little bit different. But nobody said nothing. We're just out there a lot of times. But that's on Trae as well. Trae gave up that one. Do you want me to say it again? Trae gave up that three. See what happens in the game review? I have to go through each possession. And whoever gave up the points who gave up the points. The key is who gave up the most points. Who is the most reliable when it comes to giving up all the points, right? Who is most responsible for a loss per their giving up of points? That's why I started doing game reviews because I want to see what is it Trae every game. Every game, because that's what people say. They don't say anything else, and they also don't mention anybody else's names, which is why if you go back on around the ATL and other formats that I do episodes on, I've gone through the Atlanta Hawks roster since 2018 all the way to 2024, and I showed y'all what everybody did on the roster each year on offense and defense to show you here's their production. Here's their actual real-life production, including playoffs, to show you this is what we were working with. So you explained to me how we were supposed to be competitive where you got 6, 7 players not even scoring 6 points a game. That's what we had, right? But anyway, 10th shot, first quarter. Kevin beats Luke on a fast break and gets a layup. Another fast break, guys. This is the 10th shot, first quarter. Where is it at? Here we go.
I agree. I think Atlanta, which played back-to-back on Friday and Saturday, looks like the fresher team. Young leans in. Rebound Jones. Outlet feed. Touchdown to Herter.
There you go.
That's Luke's guy. When a shot goes up, okay, if you're not the immediate person that's trying to get a rebound, you have to spot your guy on defense. Or you have to spot a guy and be attached to him. You can't let them release. And the Hawks do it all the time. All the players on the Hawks, the whole roster does it all the time. Okay, that was the 10th shot of the first quarter, guys. Here's the 11th. Jones beats Okongwu to the basket. This was an off a pick to get Trae off of Jones and to get on Okongwu. And on the drive, Trae stepped in, then stepped out. If he had tried to take the charge in this case, it would have been an and one for sure. But with 44 at the 3, Mo G couldn't be the help defender either. So I want you to watch this. It's the 11th shot. This is actually the last shot of the first quarter. Here we go.
So more wing heavy for Atlanta, more guard heavy for the Bulls. Jones penetrates and scores.
Nice move, Trae Jones.
So you saw where Trae was. Now, if Trae was already there in the paint, he probably takes that charge. But him trying to jump from where he was at the time, it would have been, again, pretty obvious right there. Heck, they might have called a flagrant foul. You know how these referees are right now. But again, you saw where Mogay was at. He wasn't in real position to help either. So it became a layup. It became a layup because they picked to get O freed up on Jones, and Jones basically went to the basket. Second quarter begins now. Here's the first shot. Jones from the top of the key on Luke and gets a layup. First shot.
Bulls into that quarter. Nice.
They got back to within single digits, and Jones makes it a 6-point game.
Well, I tell you, Trae Jones is just
Barbecue chicken, wasn't he? Second shot, first quarter. Io drives to the basket, this time on Zach for a layup.
It's a 5, and then he got a 7-for-3 guy out there on the other side.
exactly.
Dosunmu, another blow-by.
Oh, he went downhill on Ricochet.
That's 2 layups in a row in the paint. Trae Young ain't even on the floor. So again, my question is, when Trae Young is not on the floor, who's giving up the points? Because nobody ever names any names. Again, are these ghosts out here fluttering around? Is it AI? What is it? Because I just saw somebody go right past Zach to the basket for a layup. How do you blame Trae for that? You see, Trae's not even on the court right now. Right? Right? Am I wrong? Let me show y'all again. What shot was that? That was the second shot of the second quarter.
It's a 5, and then he got a 7-for-3 guy out there on the other side.
Exactly.
Dosunmu, another blow-by.
Oh, he went downhill on Ricochet.
Also, if you notice, Porzingas didn't even contest the shot either. Third shot, second quarter. Nobody talks on defense. Porzingas is sitting in the paint but not guarding anybody. Giddey is wide open. He hits a 3. All Porzingas had to do is stay with man. Whatever the circumstances causes you to be on the wrong person, for that moment in time, you got to stay with that person, even if it's a possible mismatch for whatever reason, whether it be speed or height, size, whatever. For that time, you got to do your best. That's all I can ask, is do your best. But when you don't do anything, stuff like this happens. Here's the third shot, second quarter.
That really hurt the Celtics.
Giddey, a 3. Good.
Yeah, and Josh is shooting that with confidence. He's making teams now.
And that shot really is one of the reasons why I continue to say, why can't we have a defensive coach on our bench? Because, see, that's an adjustment. Porzingas didn't even go out there and run at him to try to contest that shot. But that was his man, and he's sitting in the paint not doing nothing. Looks familiar from last year, don't it? Because that's what Clint used to do all the time. This is a coachable thing, and we won't do it. Quinn Snyder literally hopes that the other team misses shots, and we just hit more shots. And it worked. Sometimes it worked against the Lakers, didn't it? We hit a whole bunch of shots. And the Lakers didn't hit as many shots, right? Now, in that particular case, though, it was a lot because of the defensive pressure. Those young guys acted out, right? But many times, Quinn Snyder just hopes we miss shots, and that's not enough. It's not enough. Because what if the Lakers had hit all their shots last night? Will we have won that game? I don't know. But I know nobody on our team talks on defense. Here's the fourth shot, second quarter. Again, we can't play pick and roll. Off a pick that gets NAW off Buzelis, Okongwu needed to step up on Vucevic. JJ was a help defender. And then you rotate accordingly. This doesn't happen. Instead, Vucevic has a floater. This is on Okongwu. This is the fourth shot, second quarter.
Point guards in the league, and Dyson Daniels, one of the elite defensive players in the NBA already. Vucevic on the roll.
Yeah, then he get Vucevic some shots. He'd only taken 2 shots up until that point.
And the thing I hate the most is Okongwu always does this. Like he ain't the reason. It frustrates me so much. Anyway, fifth shot, second quarter. Pointing is not defense. That's not defense. This is not defense. That's not defense. Is it? Fifth shot, second quarter. Again, nobody talks on defense. Number 13 picks JJ off of his man. Trae switches. But if Trae had called it out, JJ could have gotten around and stayed with his man. Since this didn't happen, Trae is now down low with a big. JJ goes to switch, but this leaves his man open. Dyson sees this, goes to cover, but points that Giddey is open. Giddey gets the ball and puts up a floater. This is on the entire team because why? They don't talk. They just. Fifth shot, second quarter.
Here's Giddey. Found himself wide open.
Wide open on the switch.
And by the way, talking wouldn't necessarily stop the madness, but it'd slow it down for us to win a game. Sixth shot, second quarter. This time, they actually play the pick and roll correctly. Vucevic sets a pick on NAW, but he gets around it. Porzingas stays with Vucevic. It was a miracle. Buzelis drives all the way to the basket, though. Porzingas is there for the help defense. Doesn't block the shot. Sixth shot, second quarter.
Although Porzingas makes a lot of guys look very small.
Well, he preferred to play in that mid-range game.
He's got a great stroke. There's Buzelis.
There you go. You gotta get.
Pretty simple. Seven shot, second quarter. Trae misses a shot. Another fast break starts, right? Nobody stops the ball. People are pointing again. But Porzingas' man is running to the three. Porzingas leaves him open. He gets the ball, and you know what happens? He hits the three. Stay with your man. 7 shot, second quarter.
Knocked down Alexander Walker. Tough try by Trae Young on Trae Jones. Here comes the number Trae. It's Giddey to Iodos Trace to Williams, number 44.
There is no excuse to not go out and contest a shot. You jump starting at someone is not defense. You get your hand up. You run at someone and get your hand up. Make them think about it for that brief second. They're an NBA player, they still might hit it, but to just give up on the shot is inexcusable for me. I'm tired of it, frankly. 8 shot, second quarter. Again, nobody is on their man. Nobody's on their assignment. Why isn't Porzingas on Vucevic? Why is NAW on him? JJ comes to double. Porzingas is on Jones for some reason. Trae is on Io. Io sends an entry pass to Vucevic and moves. Trae then tries to shade Vucevic because Porzingas still has not switched back. Nobody is guarding Giddey or Williams either. Jones has now moved to the top of the key. Porzingas is too far back. You know what happens? He hits another 3. 8 shot, second quarter.
They finally get it to Vucevic, but they switch Johnson back onto him.
He should still take it.
Out to Jones.
There you go.
Ninth shot. Nobody blocks out. Jones drives, misses a layup. Williams gets the board over Porzingas. Dyson and JJ, who is just kind of walking by the play, are there. Williams was JJ's man, though. Ninth shot, second quarter.
Those guys are not shooting threes except for Porzingas. The rest of them down the road.
Oh, Jones against Porzingas. He deterred. Williams got it back. fakes it, shoots it.
There you go, Patrick Williams. And I made a comment the other day against Patrick Williams in Orlando.
Did y'all see that? Was that necessary? Or if we had just blocked out, we would have got the rebound. And we lost this game by 5 points. I told you what they scored in the paint. I told you what they scored fast break points, guys. Tenth shot, last shot of the second quarter. So again, they play the pick and roll correct. Trae has Giddey. Vucevic tries to pick Trae. He gets around, but Porzingas is still looking at Giddey. Again, if your man beats the pick, stay with your man. Dyson is the help defender. Porzingas lets Vucevic hit a shot. Doesn't even contest it. 10th shot, second quarter.
Oh, Josh Giddey flying a couple of times for the offensive boards.
Counts rebounds, he's got 9.
Here is Giddey into Vucevic.
Unnecessary points, guys. So that was the half, okay? The game we were still in, okay? Third quarter, first shot. Now, I should give this one to the team. There are 5 Hawks in the paint. Only 2 of them are guarding someone. There are literally 3 Bulls behind the three-point line because the Hawks aren't staying with their man. They're out of position. For some reason, Porzingas is guarding Okoro in the post, and JJ has Vucevic. Okoro passes it out, by the way. All the Hawks have their backs to players. This is how they are, right? Okoro passes it to Jones. He drives, and 2 Hawks are looking at him. Zach goes to him, and all 5 Hawks are now looking at Jones. So Okoro pops out, and he is wide open because nobody rotates. Watch this. First shot, third quarter.
Here is Trae Jones. Same 10 that started the game. Start the second half. And Okoro.
There you go.
It can't get more embarrassing than that, guys. Second shot, third quarter. Porzingas doesn't contest a wide open Vucevic 3. Like, Vucevic can't hit this 3. Second shot, third quarter.
Or Young is able to separate from Jones, I should say. Got both Traes guarding each other. Vucevic fires away.
We lost this game by 5 points. How many threes have I shown y'all that were not necessary? How many points in the paint have we given up in this game that were not necessary? Fast break points, not. Third shot, blocking out. We don't know how to block out. On this shot, Trae is the only player that is on his man and does a decent job. Okoro taps it over to JJ. No, taps it over JJ and Dyson. Okoro slips under and gets a layup. So you know who I'm giving this one to? I'm giving it to Porzingas because after he made a shot contest, he went down the floor instead of coming back to help. Watch this. Third shot, third quarter.
8 on the shot clock. Vucevic flashes. Out to Buzelis. This time he'll line it up. Smallest guy. Okoro gets the bounce and the deuce.
And that's the thing that they want him to do.
Effort, guys. Fourth shot, third quarter. Nobody stops the ball in the fast break again, and nobody picks up man. So on this, everybody gets a man except JJ, and JJ allows Jones to hit a wide open 3. Watch this. Fourth shot, third quarter.
That's officially his 9th. They took one off the board in the first half. Got it to Jones at the last second. They left him open for a triple.
Bang, bang, bang.
What was JJ doing that entire time? Nothing. Sorry. That's what happened. You saw it. You want me to show it to you? I'm not going to show it to you again. You can watch it for yourself on the replay. That was the fourth shot. So this is the fifth shot. This time Dyson and Zach get back, but this is off of a missed shot. So they get back on defense, but nobody blocks out. And Jones gets what? A layup. But this one I'm giving on Trae because Jones was his man and he didn't get back this time. Did you hear what I just said before I show you? This is on Trae because Jones was his man and he didn't get back. Fifth shot, third quarter.
His second on 2 tries. Nice job by Giddy.
That's what we talk about, the weak side. Weak side getting over helping.
Buzelis being chased. Jones follows it up.
Effort. That's just pure effort right there. And it's the whole team, not just one. But in this case, it was Trae. Did you hear me? Or do I got to say that 17 times for you to believe it? See, this is the whole game, though. Has Trae given up all these points? Have I only named Trae in all these points? No, I've named a whole bunch of other players so far, haven't I? This is just the third quarter, right? This is why I do game reviews, because you need to see everything. Sixth shot. Again, people won't stay with their man. Okongwu had Buzelis off the entry pass. Okongwu, for some reason, backs into the paint. Buzelis sits a pit and pops to the three. And of course, Okongwu is too late to contest. Sixth shot, third quarter.
Great Barrier Thief is like a primo nickname in this league. Here's Buzelis. Hits a three.
Bang, bang, bang.
And again, I bet Okongwu didn't think that was his fault, but it was. Lord have mercy. Seventh shot, third quarter. JJ lets Kevin hit a floater over him because he couldn't locate his man. Seventh shot, third quarter.
Bulls have their largest lead of the night at 3, trying to extend it. It's Herder from Vucevic.
Oh, red velvet.
Oh, he dropped it that time.
Please note, JJ didn't even contest Kevin Herter's shot. He didn't know where he was at, but then he saw he got the ball and he just floated it over JJ like he wasn't even there, huh? Is that acceptable to everybody? Eighth shot, third quarter. So again, why is Okongwu on Kevin and not on Vucevic? Why is Trae guarding Vucevic? Vucevic goes to post. Trae releases as he should. Dyson and NAW come in the double. Dyson knocks the ball loose. Okongwu comes to try to help, but Vucevic gets the ball, turns. JJ is there, and he stands there. Why doesn't he try for a block? Eighth shot, third quarter.
You have to at his size in this league to be as effective as he is. Oh, double team on Vucevic, got swatted at a couple times.
JJ has the hops, don't he? He didn't hop then. He didn't even contest it. Why not? He was there. He was in position to do it. At worst, foul. We lost this game by 5 points. Ninth shot, third quarter. Buzelis drives past JJ for a dunk.
Okay, Josh getting rebounds like a small forward.
He certainly got the size for it. Buzelis, stop and go!
Make him dance, young man. Make him dance.
So that's Trae's fault, right? That was one-on-one on JJ. But that's Trae's fault somehow, right? See, again, you have to see all of this. You don't have to believe it, but you have to at least see it, because these are possession for possession, how the Bulls scored on the Hawks in a 5-point win for the Bulls. 5 points. 11 shot, third quarter. This is the last shot of the third quarter. This is off another fast break. A cross-court pass to Io. I want you to look where Luke is on this. This is the last shot of the third quarter. Where am I at? 11th shot.
Bulls up by 8, inside of 4 for the third. Daniels over a Okoro, that won't go. But a good look.
Daniels, you almost have to play him for the drive. I haven't really seen him shoot it that well.
Dosunmu shot it well.
Oh, I'll Trace.
See, Luke knew that was his. Him putting down his head don't do nothing, though, does it? It's another 3 points that wasn't necessary. They hit 16 threes. There's another reason we lost this game by 5. Not just the 18 points we left on the board from missed shots generated from Trae Young. Not just the 22 fast break points. Not the 60-plus points in the paint we gave up. Stuff like that. Now we're in the fourth quarter. We're in the last quarter. Okay. First shot. Where am I at? Here we go. So let me start with this. When you have a smaller guy on the big and they haven't passed the ball to that big, switch back. I've talked about this for years when I play basketball. If I get picked somehow off of my big and you got Mouse in the house, if they don't immediately get him the ball, I switch back and say, hey, I got him. Go get your man. Hawks don't do that for some reason, though. I don't know why. So in this case, Porzingas just stands there and lets NAW give up a layup. First shot, fourth quarter.
Oh, Patrick dive.
Yeah, he sets the screen and rolls, but you were looking for the dive cut earlier. Now he posts up against Alexander Walker.
Good recognition.
And did you see Porzingas kind of like he was going to wind up and do? No, he wasn't going to do nothing. Why not, though? That was his man. And he let Williams get down on the block on NAW, knowing he was about to get the ball. And we did nothing to stop it. It's another point in the paint we gave up, right? Second shot, fourth quarter. Basilis drives all the way to the hoop on the Okongwu again. Second shot, fourth quarter. Where is it at? There it is.
There is Buzelis, the cross. Over Okongwu with the left
That's
hand.
a big-time move.
Why is Okongwu mad? He gave up that layup. Lay up. That was one-on-one. And Trae Young, it had nothing to do with that. But y'all want me to blame Trae Young for every shot, right? I can't do that because I'm showing you every shot, and Trae Young is not involved in every point that is given up. The Hawks team gave up 128 points, not Trae Young. Trae Young did not give up 128 points in this game. He just didn't. I'm going to tell you how many points he gave up soon because we're almost finished. That was what, the second shot? Here's the third shot, fourth quarter. Giddey gets a pick on Luke. JJ picks up, he drives, spins, and lays it up. Third shot, fourth quarter.
Not a lot of movement. Giddey spins, floats, scores.
Tough shot by Josh Giddey. Wasn't a lot of...
Ain't that something? Isn't that amazing how that happens? Fourth shot, off a pick and roll. Vucevic scores on Okongwu. Fourth shot, fourth quarter.
Here's Vucevic, flips it up ahead.
I didn't even see more of that.
How come the Bulls keep scoring all these points? Oh, Trae Young is not on the floor? Let's blame Trae Young anyway? That's a very interesting concept, Cotton. Fifth shot, fourth quarter. Again, we can't play the pick and roll. Nobody talks on defense, and we don't rotate. JJ wasn't playing anybody. Okongwu leaves Vucevic. Dyson leaves Io. Ball swings around. Io is wide open. NAW also left Jones wide open. I'm giving this to the entire team. Watch this. Fifth shot, fourth quarter.
35 years since that last happened in Bulls history. Dosunmu a three. Good!
This should be getting all of y'all upset and mad, but it's not for some reason. Not sure why. Sixth shot, fourth quarter. Again, why is Okongwu leaving Vucevic? There is no reason for this. Also, Luke left his man wide open, and nobody talked. But this one is on Okongwu, though. Sixth shot, fourth quarter.
Bulls can take the lead. Here's Jones. Throws it out to Dosunmu. Extra feed. Carter to put him in front. Tipped in by Vucevic.
Vucevic Bane! What an effort by Big Vooch!
You see that? Let me play that one again. Let me play that one again because you can see that nobody talked and you got people leaving their man for no reason. There's no reason for Okongwu to have left Vucevic. None. Sixth shot, fourth quarter.
Bulls can take the lead. Here's Jones. Throws it out to Dosunmu. Extra field. Herder to put him in front. Tipped in by Vooch.
Voochie Bane! What an effort by Big Vooch!
See, that's pure coaching right there. Pure coaching. Pure coaching. 7th shot. Dyson again leaves his man open. Why is Trae on Vucevic? At least Porzingas switched this time when Vucevic drove. Trae went to Kevin. 7th shot. Last quarter.
17 assists for Young. Porzingas has 25. Dosunmu a three. Yes!
Oh, bang, bang, bang!
And the fourth quarter agrees with Ayo Dosunmu.
8th shot. There wasn't even a screen. JJ, instead of engaging, he backs up and lets Bucelis hit a three. 8th shot, 4th quarter.
The 7th tie tonight at 118 apiece. 2.5 to go. Bucelis for the lead. Yes!
Bang, bang, bang!
JJ backed up. He didn't engage. Where was JJ going? He wasn't playing defense. 9th shot. Turnover by Porzingas. Trae's the only one back. 9th shot. Last quarter.
And he's going right to the post. Porzingas. Tipped alive by
Voochie
Vucevic.
Bane playing D!
Herder steps in and scores.
Strolling on a Sunday afternoon.
10th shot. Dyson leaves his man again open. Guess what happens? Another three. 10th shot. Last quarter.
Jones finds Giddey. That's a three. It's good.
Giddy up, Josh Giddey.
And that's your ball game. So the Hawks lost a game by 5 points. Why? It's because of Trae Young? No, it's not because of Trae Young. Trae Young had 21 and 17 in this game. At minimum, he contributed 50-plus points in this game. So you can't blame Trae Young unless he gave up 60 points in the game, because that supersedes what he contributed to the team. So is it Trae Young's fault? Oh, well, you must have turned the ball over. He had 1 turnover in the game. Oh, it's all those shots that the players missed. How do you blame Trae Young for players missing their shots that he passed him the ball for? Trae had 17 assists in a game. He had 26 potential assists in. We lost the game by 5 points. So who gave up the most points in this game? Porzingas gave up 24 points in this game, guys. 24 in this game. He scored 27, gave up 24. JJ gave up 16 points in this game. Zach gave up 6, Dyson 10, Luke 11, Okongwu 15. Trae gave up 10 points in this game. And then I gave 10 to the team, as I mentioned during this review. So after you watch all of that, explain to me how Trae Young is the reason that the Hawks lost this game. Give me a reason now. You've seen all the possessions. Trae gave up 2 threes in this game. Porzingas gave up 4 threes in this game. You see what I'm saying? So what are we talking about here? Okongwu gave up 15 points, much of it one-on-one buckets. Trae gave up 10. So when was the last time 10 was more than 15? When was the last time 10 was more than 24? Porzingas had a bad defensive night this night. But he wasn't even really the reason we lost this game by 5 points. Not the only reason. All people have to do to be reasonable about the Atlanta Hawks since 2018 is admit we've had a lot of players that didn't do what they were supposed to do regularly, every night. That's all you got to do. And you won't do it, you can't do it, because your religion is to say, well, it's Trae's fault because he's small. When teams don't even attack Trae Young. How many times did they call a pick so somebody could be on Trae Young and back him down or shoot over him in this game? How many times? I didn't show you anything that didn't happen. I can't change that. And that's why I do reviews. Because, hey, guess what? If Trae is the one who gave up the most points, we're going to find out together. Because I can't go around that. I showed you every field goal attempt, didn't I? But Porzingas gave up the most points in this game. JJ gave up the second most points. Okonkwo gave up the third most points. Luke gave up the fourth most points. Then Dyson and Trae are tied with 10. So how is it Trae's fault? Trae had 17 assists. We left 18 points on the board. Trae didn't give up all the points in the paint. They scored 68 points in the paint. Trae didn't give up all the second chance points, and he didn't give up all the fast break points. I showed you all of that. So to keep saying these things makes you a little bit weird, don't it? Oh, it's Trae's fault. Trae's fault. Trae's fault. No, it's not. How can you say that? So when I show you the Cleveland Cavaliers game next, very soon in the near future, a game Trae didn't even play in, where the Cavaliers were missing 4 of their best players, top players that play all the time, and we couldn't beat them. And then we lose to the Raptors, a game that Trae didn't play in. We were leading going into the fourth quarter. How you blame Trae for those two? Because other people are on the court. So you just can't make yourself say, oh, man, he had a real bad game. He didn't hit no shots. Oh, man, he didn't do this. And you won't give a name to all these other players that have played in Hawks uniform since 2018. Why won't you do that? I'm going to make you do it, though. So that being said, this is going to end my review on the Bulls versus Hawks game. My next review will be coming in the near future as soon as I have time to upload all the video for that Cavs game. But be looking for it in the very near future. Maybe early tomorrow morning if I can pull it off. We'll see what happens. But again, the only reason I started doing game reviews is because it made no sense to continue to try to blame one player when there are 5 players on the court at any given time. And unless Trae Young is giving up 30, 40 points a game, how can you have an argument that it's Trae and Trae Young alone when you have all these other incidents that happen during the game? I literally showed you what happened. And this is early in the season this year. Over the last 2 years, I've shown you game after game after game, and I show you Trae is not the one most responsible for this loss. In fact, he's probably the least responsible because Trae is a career 25-10 player. So just by definition, his contributions on the team shows that he's not the most responsible. He also isn't the worst defender on the team. He's not the one giving up the most points each night. And he's the smallest guy on the court. So if you watch this, I hope you watch it. I hope you review it whenever you do get a chance to review it. Watch each shot. Watch each possession. Again, the Chicago Bulls had 64 points in the paint, 15 second chance points, 22 fast break points, and they hit 16 threes. We lost this game by 5 points, and the Hawks left 18 points on the board from missed shots generated from Trae Young. 18. We had 2 starters combined for 4 points total in this game, but yet everybody wants to say that it was Trae's fault. I believe I proved my point that it wasn't, and we're going to go to the next very soon. So that being said, again, make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. You can also check me out on Twitter on Intellect ATL. But until next time, y'all take care. Have a good rest of this weekend. I wish I could go play basketball. I really hurt my knee earlier. I bumped it on my what's it called? Stairwell earlier. And I think if I go try to play, it's going to come up and I'm not going to be able to support myself. So I'm not going to go play tonight. But what I am going to do is I'm going to prepare for the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Hawks review and get that one going along with the Raptors review. I'm going to try to do those at the same time so I can do them kind of like back to back. So look out for those. But again, huge win. We needed that against the Lakers to show that we do have the depth. The whole point of having depth is to use all of it and let them play because we are better with all these players if you play 10, 11 players a game like all these other teams do against us. You see what I'm saying? If you let them play full tilt, we get that effort every night. But you play Mo Gay for 8 minutes this game, and Mohamed Gay played 8 minutes in this game. I told y'all that, right? What if he had played 18 minutes in this game? We probably win this game. We lost by 5. See, again, coaching again comes into play. We don't have a defensive coach to help Snyder on the bench, and Snyder is horrible at rotations and decision making. Trae Young was out of this game way too long. I told y'all that. I told you exactly when he came out and when he went back in, didn't I? Stuff like that don't make sense. The rotations he used against the Raptors make no logical sense. And like I keep saying, I think he's coaching like he's still in Utah, and he had a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year on his team, and he just didn't care about anything else. He figured that would help everything, and it didn't, right? Hopefully, he'll realize that he can't keep doing what he's been doing, and maybe somebody on the bench, maybe one of his coaches will tell him, hey, man, we need to go ahead and have Mohamed Gay in there for 20 minutes each night. We need to have Asa up here, too, just in case. We could always put Mohamed Gay in at the 3 and Asa at the 4 in certain lineups. Like, let's make people play us rather than vice versa. And when Trae comes back, guess what? 17 assists a game. That could be every night. Trae is trying to get 17. He's passing the ball all the time. All the time. We just need people hitting their shots. At the beginning of the season, they weren't hitting their shots. Luke wasn't hitting no shots. Dyson wasn't hitting nothing. And he said it as much. He said in his own press conference, it's my fault. I started off slow. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not hitting shots. This game was a culmination of that. But since then, he's played pretty well, hasn't he? Zach wasn't hitting any shots. He's been hitting better shots lately, hasn't he? As soon as everybody's hitting their shots all the time, the ones who are supposed to be hitting their shots, this team will be doggone near unstoppable. Because if anything, we'll outscore everybody. I prefer we can get some stops every now and the blue moon, like last night. That's not going to happen all the time. But it could, right? But we're going to see, though. We're going to see. But another thing I pointed out, look at JJ's plus minus for the season so far. His defense has to improve. He wasn't playing that night against the Lakers, was he? His defense also has to improve. He is not a good defender. I showed y'all that in this game. He was a minus 14 in this game, I believe. I think I had it written down somewhere. Minus 14 in this game, JJ was. Minus 14, that's good, that's positive. He gave up 16 points in this game. He did have 25, though. So he kind of overcame that a little bit, right? Y'all need to get it together. There's a whole bunch of people who are a cause of a loss. There's a whole bunch of people who cause for a win. We finally have players to where our Hawks are 3 deep in all of our positions, and we need to play everybody all the time. We won that game last night missing 4 players. We could do that all season long if we do right. And when everybody's back on the court, let's see what happens. Also, again, I'm going to mention this also with JJ and also with Hunter. Somebody want to say, well, the Hawks are 50 games under 500 with Trae Young. And who else wasn't playing? JJ and Hunter. JJ has played 1 season of 70 games. Last year, he played 36. The year before that, he played 50 plus. That's it. What would the Hawks' history be if JJ played 75 games the last 2 seasons in a row? Just him. How many games did Hunter miss as a Hawks? Way too many. Again, if we had Hunter in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Hawks beat the Milwaukee Bucks straight up, even with Trae getting hurt, because his 14 points would have mattered. Kevin wasn't doing nothing out there. You see what I'm saying? Availability has hurt the Hawks a lot. But there's a lot less Trae than all these other players that we've had who've missed a whole bunch of games. But you don't want to say their names, though, for some reason, right? That's weird to me when you've seen it for yourself. So that being said, I'm going to get out of here for real this time. I got to go. This is Chris around the ATL. Hopefully you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio page. Make sure you go and check out the interview with Steve Holman from the beginning of this season, as well as past episodes with Bob Rathman and Steve Holman over the years on Around the ATL, as well as our other interviews that we've had, whether it be baseball related, basketball related, and other sports. Talk to y'all later. Y'all take care. Peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around the ATL.